things happen for us, not to us. They're not there to freaking push us down and put us under a rock. These are happening for us. These are happening to help us grow. And I know that it's hard. I know it's hard, and I know that some days you just feel like so shit and so depressed and so under the rock. The more that we practice mindfulness, the meditation, the acceptance, the being optimistic, that realizing that things are helping us to grow and just bettering our mindset, it's so beneficial to us. It makes us so much more happier and joyful and accepting and at peace with ourselves.
Hi Alexa, thank you for joining me. I would love you to share what you do to everyone, let them know.
Hi guys, my name is Alexa Evans. I am an actor, I present, I am a mother, I am pregnant currently, due anytime soon, so about to be a mother of 2. I have a 2-year-old son. He is like my life. I love him so much. I've learned so much from him, more than anything, mostly in my life, I think, yeah, which is incredible. I also have a few different businesses in marketing and desserts and just a variety of different things. And I am currently doing retreats, so wellness retreats, anything to do with mindset, breath work, meditation, dancing, movement, expression, sound healing. It's a combination of so many different things that I've learned over my healing years. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
I think it would be really interesting to know how all these came together, because you're doing so many different things. How does your schedule look like? Because you know you have a kid, number 2 is coming up, but you have so many things that you're working on as well.
My schedule is wild. Well, I mean, it's not wild. It's I try to balance things actually. So I try to do a couple of days on this and a couple of days on that. And I'm trying to learn balance, but I don't think there's such thing as balance, because it's like an expectation that's not, you know, it's not a one shoe fits all kind of situation. I dance 1 to 2 times a week. I spend at least 1 to 2 days of like a complete day with my son Jordan. I try to have one day where it's just me, where I can just regenerate and release and relax and go to the beach or do my own meditation and breath work or things like that. And then I have 1 to 2 days on work that is not so much my passion, but more just bringing in the money, and then 1 to 2 days of working towards my passion. That's my most weeks that I'm trying to work on. And then just finding space in between as well. But what really helps is to be present, because if you're not present and you're thinking about the next thing, or you're thinking about what I should be doing, like, it's not productive work. So I try to focus more on being productive rather than, okay, I'm going to do this, and then you're scrolling on Facebook, or you're like not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I have a very clear to-do list and I spend time, okay, 1 hour I'm going to work on this to-do list, but it's not always working out. Sometimes it's quite messy, but I really try to be productive with my time. I think my son, like I said, my son has taught me so many things. He would get so crazy and wild 1 minute, and then the next minute he's so happy, and it teaches me how fast a moment can go past. And if I'm present in this moment with him, then I'm learning to be present in my life. So that's practice. I get away from that. But presence is a big thing, productivity is a big thing, and meditation every single morning helps, because if I'm not in a clear state of mind to be working and doing all these things, I'm not going to be able to focus on what I need to be doing. So practicing meditation every morning, having that time to myself, is so important. It's so vital just to be able to be productive throughout the day.
So would you attribute your productivity pretty much to meditation?
Ooh.
Or do you think there's other things?
I think there's a combination of many things. It's like thinking as well, if I'm not productive, then I'm not going to get anything done. And I've been not productive before, so I can compare to that. But I think meditation is such an important practice. It brings so much into this life, like, and what you do every day. It's crazy. Like, there's just so much you can learn from it. Example, you learn focus, because with meditation, you have to focus on one thing, or on observing your body, or whatever different meditation. People do so many different meditations. But when you focus on specific things in your body as a practice every single morning, that becomes a practice that you can apply to everything in life. And also meditation has helped me to be present, because you have to be so aware of yourself and your surroundings and everything. Like, you know everything in your body and all of the sensations, and you're 100% aware of that, and then you learn to sit with that and be content in that and accept that. So when you are aware and present, like I said before, you're not anxious about, oh, I need to get this and this and this done, or you're not worried like, oh, I should have done this in the past. Like, oh, you're more just present, and you can be more focused, therefore more productive.
And is that why you started mindfulness with Alexa, or can you tell me a bit about why you started moving in that direction and how that's impacted your life?
Oh goodness, I've wanted to do retreats since I was like little. Yeah, since I was younger. I mean, growing up, and I told you before at the retreat, because she attended my retreat recently, I had experienced sexual abuse growing up from such a young age. And because I was so young, I had to start my healing journey quite young. So I learnt a lot of different healing remedies and a lot of different things when I was a child. And I would say I was quite odd, slightly odd or different to other kids, just because I was a little bit more aware of myself and my body, and I was more emotional and sensitive, and people were just in school living their lives, you know. People were just on the, like, not everyone, because a lot of people go through these kind of things as well, unfortunately, but people were just in school. A lot of the kids were just living their life being kids, whereas I felt like I had to be an adult really fast, and I had to, you know, heal, and I had so much responsibility for myself. And then I was a lot of the time watching my sister, and a lot of the time my parents I'm very appreciative of it, but they made me very independent. So I was very independent, which made me a lot more mature when I was younger. So I started all of this meditation and everything from when I was a kid. I started doing this when I was really young. And I was very interested in psychology when I was like 13, 14. I started full-time working. Well, my first job was when I was like 10, 11, because I wanted to make my own money. And then I was moving in and out of home when I was quite young as well. And I started full-time working, like officially left school when I was, I think, 14 or 15. So I was quite young. And at that time, like, I was, like I said, interested in psychology. I was interested in mindfulness. Like, I was a hairdresser. I left to be a hairdresser. And when you're a hairdresser, you know that you're like kind of a counsellor and a hairdresser. Like, you're not just a hairdresser. So not that I was a counsellor, but I would have these deep conversations with clients about their spirituality and about like their mental state and everything. And I realized, like, I love this so much.
You're a young teen.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I would never trust a young teen in my hair, right? I was like, oh. But yeah, I just love these conversations. And I remember a client once, I think she did a retreat or something, and I was like, oh, a retreat, that sounds amazing. What is this? What is all this about? And so over the years, I tried different healing things, and I've done little things to lead me up to where I am today. Example, in 2015 or 16, I started a business teaching girls boxing and dancing. And for me, that was like to bring out their confidence, because I was boxing when I was younger. And I still box. I love boxing. And I think it's so good for your mental strength. It's good to like let out a lot of energy. It's good because you practice breath work while you're boxing as well. And you become mentally strong and confident, and there's just so much to it. And then dancing is like a release. It's freedom. It's expression of yourself. So I wanted to share that with younger people. And I did this self-love challenge as well. I think it was maybe 2017 or something like that, where I had like almost 1,000 people, which was really cool online, because I collaborated with some other people which were in the mindfulness industry as well. And we did like all these challenges where it was like self-love challenges and meditation and a variety of things. So there's a lot of different things leading up to now, for me finally kind of taking the reins and doing it myself. A lot of the time I felt like I had to have someone else helping me or something like this. So I'm really like, this isn't my first time doing events, but it feels like a whole new space. It feels like this is my first time ever doing this thing, because it's me finally doing it myself, planning it myself. Like, this is something that that I truly have been wanting to do for such a long time. It's like I'm bringing my heart and soul into this, and it's something I've curated over the years that means so much to me.
Wow, and it seems like those were like your training grounds to understand people. Boxing and dancing is both like the expression of the body, the release of energy, like different types of energy, learning from different people, doing that self-love challenge.
I definitely think just a lot of this stuff has helped me to become who I am today. Even my acting, like learning different scripts really fast, and being in front of the camera and being able to act in different emotions, and also presenting, because when you're presenting, you're live TV and you're asking questions and you're answering questions and you're leading things, and all of this has helped me with my confidence. It's helped me with being able to present to people and to be able to facilitate events like this. So everything has just spiraled up to like where I am now, and it's still going. But
so I think it'd be really interesting for everyone to hear what sort of career paths you took, you know. So the first one you said was as a hairdresser, because you've done such a variety of things.
Yeah.
And it sounds like through that you've learned to understand yourself a lot better as well. I think it'd be just really cool to see what kind of roles you've done throughout the years.
I've done so many roles, to be honest. When I was really, really young, I was, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something like this. You know, I started paper run, and then I throw the paper in people's, you know, well, it wasn't actually throwing, it was just passing the paper. It's like a lot of gentler in Australia. I don't know how American shows like they do that.
Yeah, like ads or like movies, I just throw them.
Not the same thing, but and then from there, I worked in a pool shop, sweeping up the areas, fish and chip shops, you know, fast food chains, IGA. Did IGA after school.
It's like a supermarket.
Supermarkets. And then my friend did hairdressing at the time, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, like, I want to be creative and do hairdressing, copy her. So I started hairdressing. I actually did that for a while, like almost 8 years or something.
Really?
And I did my apprenticeship, and then I became a colorist, where you learn more about the specifics of color and everything like that. It's pretty cool. I ended up being in like really amazing top end salons, and
oh my God.
In these salons, even they enter competitions to become the best of the best, and it's just like I got really into it, and I really loved it. It was a passion for a time, because I love being creative. And then from there, I was like, I was boxing at the time as well.
Simultaneously, you were teaching boxing?
No, so I was just boxing.
Like for yourself?
Yeah, for myself. So I decided, I really love fitness, but then I also really love psychology. So I was going to go study psychology, I left hairdressing and actually moved overseas as well. But that prior time before the overseas things is when I studied fitness. So I studied sports and nutrition. And then my sister and I opened up, it's called the BK Squad, back in 2016, I think. That's when we taught the BK standing for booty and knockout.
Yeah. So
we taught like booty kind of exercises, dancing and boxing. And then that's the transition from having a sports kind of business and then going overseas to finding acting, which I kind of just fell into. It's not something that I ever thought I'd ever be an actor. No way. I never thought I could be a model or an actor. No way. I never thought that I was beautiful. Actually, I always thought that I was I had these limiting beliefs when I was a kid, because I would get made fun of because I was ugly or something, or I had people, I think just kids make fun of kids. Yeah. So I always actually thought I was not that pretty. Like
same. Was I got bullied? So I
got
thought I was
bullied.
like really ugly.
100%. I thought I was like so ugly. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm so ugly, so whatever. I'm never gonna be doing that. But then the way I got into the acting was through a boxing commercial, because I was boxing at the time. So they were like, oh, like, you know, do some boxing. I was like, okay. And I ended up doing like KFC Thailand and Thai Union Thailand. Yeah, I did all big like commercials in Thailand.
Wow.
And then I found a dance crew, because I've always loved dancing, and I've been doing that since I was young. It's just something that I love to do. And then I ended up being a dancer and an actor, and I was traveling around Asia, and I ended up traveling around the world, which is so cool. Yeah, I just, since moving over there, I ended up making money, and I ended up making contacts and friends and getting different jobs everywhere. And I've always wanted to travel, so after that I just became like more of a traveler / doing commercials here and there and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So really cool, because I ended up going to around America and South America and around Europe and all around Asia. It's really cool. But the jobs from that is because I had my own business, I learned how to do my own marketing. So because you have your own business, so I kind of had like back then when Facebook was small, I feel like I grew it pretty well. Like we got up to when Facebook like just came out and people were just making pages. I had like gotten to 10K really fast, and then we had like thousands of views. Sometimes it was like 1 million. So it was pretty good for like just starting. Now everyone's got like 10,000 and everyone's got millions and things. But back in 2016, it was like, you know. So I took a lot of those lessons, and then that's when I fell into like the marketing side of like helping other people with growing their social media, with creating content. So that's how I fell into that job now. I went into studying it and, you know, reading so many books about it, watching shows, actually putting those into practice with my own businesses. So for me, marketing is not just putting out a post and having a calendar. Like, it's about dealing with people. We're dealing with people. And like, you know, because you did psychology, like when you learn
marketing.
You know, and marketing. So you know that with marketing and psychology, like everything's to do with dealing with someone else, with another person. You're not just dealing with a business or a company, like we're dealing with human beings. So when you know about their psychology and why they do the things they do and what persuade them to get there, and like you can create content based around that, from what people actually want to see and what people need.
Wow. I want to go back to some really pivotal moments in your life. For example, I have two, but the first one I want to talk about is you starting a business with your sister.
Oh,
like, that's mind-blowing. And did you do that while you were overseas, or was this when you were here?
I was in Brisbane at the time, so I had just finished my hairdressing job, and then we both went and studied together sports, because we both did boxing together. We thought, okay, yeah, we're just going to start a business and we're just going to do this, and we're like, okay. It was just like, it just came to us. It was not something that we planned actually for like a long time or anything. No, we were like in class one day and we're like, yeah, okay, this is a cool name. Yeah, we'll do BK squat, because that's like booty, and knockout, that's cool, and squat, that's cool. Like, okay, we'll just start it. So we started the Facebook page, and we're like, okay, cool, we've got a Facebook page. And then we're like, okay, we need some content. So we reached out to a group that we're like, anyone want to be some models for us? Like, we're going to do some cool like shoots and things like to promote our next 6-week boot camp. And we ended up getting like 20 girls or something that were interested. Yeah. And then we had friends that were videographers and photographers. So we all we created a day, we had this shoot, it was so much fun. And then we started the 6-week courses of different ones. So it was started off with boxing and booty, and then I brought the dancing aspect, and I made a dance festival as well, which was really cool. But I think because growing up, I'm really grateful for my parents, especially my mum, for this, because as much as it was difficult that we were so independent, it was really cool, because we felt like we can do anything. We had this belief that we can do anything. I think she installed that in us by creating this independent space, and that nothing will hold us back. and that we can just do it. Just do it. Who cares? Who cares? Just do it. You can do it. If you can think of it, you can do it. So we're like, easy. Like, yeah, we'll do this thing. And we made friends with the boxing gym owner who allowed us to teach there, our classes there. Every, I think it was, I don't know, Tuesday, Friday, something like this. Like, so early in the morning, ridiculous times, I don't even know. Like 6 a.m. or something. Just like, what is that? I don't know. I'm not an early bird, but I was then. Yeah, and then when it came to the festival, I was talking to my friend about it. I was like, I really want to do this dance festival. She's like, really? Wow. I was like, yeah, let's do it, you know, like, just figure it out. And then I think we had 3 weeks or 4 weeks in promotion for that, or like preparation for that. And we ended up getting like almost 100 girls there as well. And it was just like amazing, this like cool festival. We were teaching dance, and it was like, it was so cool. So I really love that. I did one in Philippines as well, same kind of concept. That was kind of our journey with that. It was so much fun. I really love that, and I really want to tap into that again, but doing it slightly differently, because it's more about like mindset now and what I actually want to share with people, not just like how to grow your booty. I really want to take the mental aspect out of that and teach that. It's more about your mentality now.
And for people who want to do something similar, hold an event or like a festival like you did, what advice would you give them? Because you put 100 people together, like,
yeah,
that's
I know,
not
so
a small
cool.
feat.
Yeah, really cool. I was really proud of myself for that one. And at the time, I think I was only 18 or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was only very young. So it was like a very cool. My sister at the time, she helped me. And my sister she was only, I don't know how old she was, 15, 16.
Wow.
So she was very young when she started this business. She was young as well. We were both young, which is whatever. But what advice for starting an event? There is so much because you have to. There is a lot that goes into an event. But I think don't overwhelm yourself with all the small details. Just get the most important things, like what do you want to offer people? What kind of skills do you have? Maybe brainstorm a couple of things. Are you a dancer? Are you a boxer? I don't know. Are you a marketer? Are you like self-love advocate, body positive advocate, anxiety, depression? Like what, something very specific, and then have a bit of a base about like what are you offering and why are you offering it. That's really important. You want to help people with their be specific so that you can get a bit of a target audience. And it's not just, I just want to help people with their mindset. Like, you have to help people with one specific thing. Example, if they have anxiety, or even mothers, like be very specific with something. Mothers with anxiety. I'm here to help mothers with anxiety. And this is what I want to offer, a whole day workshop, and then you kind of have like a rough estimate, like this is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with a meditation, and then I'm going to start with a yoga, and then I'm going to start with a workshop about anxiety, and I'm going to have a guest speaker for that, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to have a lunch break, and then whatever. So like be specific with what you want. Brainstorm first, and then put it together so that you have a whole brainstorm of things, and then you put it together into a list, and then you create like a description about it. I would suggest using Eventbrite. I've always used that even for the festival when I was younger. It's a great site. They take a little percentage, but you're able to send everyone emails. It's very professional. You have the title, the description, the times, the location, so it kind of gives you like a very clear outline of what you need to do and what information you need. So once you've done that, just do it. And then start marketing it. And my personal suggestion would be 3 weeks to 4 weeks, because you don't want to market it too early. It's very depending on the size of the event and what you want out of it. But if it's too early, people will forget. If it's too soon, it's too late. So market it and go crazy, go wild, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, connect with influencers, connect with different kind of people in the industry. Really just connect with other people, because when you connect with other people, they give you advice and they help you to get it out there. And then you can even talk with brands as well. My first event for the dance festival, I ended up having quite a lot of brands that we collaborated with. I collaborated with Lorna Jane, Nutrition Warehouse. Those were like my 2 top ones. A lot of different like massage salons or nail salons. So just going around and talking to people, and you never know like who you're going to meet and what you're going to get from it and what they can offer. And maybe do a giveaway. I don't think of all the different things that you can do. Search marketing, Google's your best friend. There's so much to it, you know. Yeah, so but definitely having a very clear idea of what you want, and then from there, just really don't let anything stop you. Like, don't hold back. Don't like the little small things. Just put aside for a second if you're putting too much energy on it. Just get the main things out there. Get the event out there. Get it posted, and then all the small things you can go back to and fix. And as long as you've got the location, what you want to offer, the time and date, and a small description, and then from there you get photos, you get videos, you get content, and go wild. So
I think what was really cool that it seems like you reached out to a lot of people. Did you pretty much just have an idea of all these brands that you wanted to reach out to, and you just reach out to all the different people and ask advice? Like, how did that go?
So I have a mixture. I have some brands that I'd love to work with, of course, and then I've got also an idea of, that's why it's so important to create your niche. Example, anxiety for mothers. This is just like the one that we were talking about before. You think, what brands help with anxiety, what brands help with mothers, what brands help with both, and then you connect with those.
Okay.
So you can search on Instagram or Google about all the variety of brands. And for me, I'm very crazy, I think I would say crazy with reaching out to people, because if you want 3 people, you have to reach out to 100 people. And it's really difficult for a lot of people because people get afraid to sometimes reach out or message other people. People get afraid, but don't be afraid, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is yourself, and no one else gives a shit. Everyone is focusing on themselves. Majority of the time, they're focusing on themselves. And if they do think something of you, or if you know they're going to comment, or if you know they're going to judge you in any way, everyone is always judging themselves. We have to really realize that every time. If someone says, oh, that person's so for one, they're focusing on you, and they should be focusing on themselves. And for two, it's a reflection. They see a reflection of something that they've done before, or a trait that they have. So that's really important. But the way you learn that is through meditation, because meditation teaches you to become aware.
So I would love to hear a bit about what you're currently doing as well with the meditation retreats. I think it'll be cool to share.
Yeah, thank you. I've finally put together my meditation retreat. It's only a workshop for now, but I would love for it to be a retreat one day, like a 3-day, botanical vibe, like rainforest getaway. Currently I'm offering meditation, breathwork, hypnosis, self-expression, sound healing, and also self-love meditation. Basically, it's a journey. I'm offering a journey. The journey that we took the other day, it's all about becoming aware of yourself, digging deep into that subconscious, bringing everything up to the surface without knowing specifically what you're bringing up, but you're bringing up a lot of emotions, and then you're releasing them. So you release all the emotions, and then you come back to self and you accept yourself, and you learn to love yourself, even if you are 100% aware of all of these things that you may be self-conscious about, or upset about, or emotional about. But we need to be able to accept all of this to be able to work on ourselves. So that was the purpose of the event that you just did. So I took everyone on a journey. When you do breath, it brings up a lot of emotions, because we hold a lot of emotions in our muscles. So doing breath and putting our body into a state of controlled stress, our body freaks out. It's like, what is going on? It just freaks out. But then if you're able to be stressed and then learn to be calm within that, and you are controlling your mind, you are aware, you are conscious, you are awake. You're not using distractions like phones or TV or food or alcohol or drugs to get rid of this stress. You're sitting in this stress, and you're like, okay, I'm stressed. I'm just going to sit here, and that's okay. And then I take you through a hypnosis and the holds, and for this you learn how to be calm in the stress state. We get up and we move and we start to release the energy. It's very cleansing. And then we come back down to the meditation and visiting our child selves, and also talking to ourselves and allowing us time and space to just spend it with ourselves, because so often we're focusing on other people and what they want and what they need, and your work and your family and this, and it's just wild how much we leave ourselves to the last person that we focus on. It's sad, but we all do it just naturally because we're kind and nurturing and giving people. So giving us this space and this time, and just telling ourselves how much we appreciate ourselves, how much we love ourselves, how much we value ourselves. It's so important, so vital, and it's so precious. It's so beautiful. Through this journey, it's a hypnosis, and it's a state, and you're going to your subconscious. So when you're doing these self-love journeys at the end to finish it, you're in this very sensitive, strong place where it stays with you for longer. It's actually accessing the long-term memory. So it stays with you for longer. Yeah, that's why it's very powerful. So this whole journey was to get to a place of ending acceptance of yourself, your surroundings, and everything else around that. So that's the journey that I took you through, which I'd love to hear a little bit about your experience.
Yes, definitely. So I just want to say before I delve into my experience, which it was so mind-blowing, honestly. I want people to hear about, how you got to becoming like a meditation lead, and I can see that you've used your skills as an actress, and the way you've guided us, it felt so natural and calming, and it was such a safe space. So I just wanted people to hear, how you got to this, just like a little bit.
Thank you. There's two things. I started meditation little bits and pieces when I was younger, but I officially started daily meditating, like daily without missing a day, for the past 5 years. So it's been 5 years, yeah. I also attended a Vipassana course where some people may or may not know what it is, but it's basically 10 days of meditation, roughly, I think 10 to 12 hours a day of meditation, and you're just meditating. You've got no stimulation, no phone, no books, no writing, no dance. You can't do anything. You can't stretch. You can't do anything. All you have to do is meditate. Just meditate. So that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. It was very difficult because you have no distraction. You are just faced with yourself just there, and you have to meditate. And they teach you different types. Like they teach you how to do an Anapana meditation, which is focusing on this area, teaches you to be focused. And then once you learn, after 2 days of doing this, once you learn how to be focused, then you go through and you observe your body. And you observe your body, and then you don't react to any of the body sensation. Example, itchiness or stinginess or happiness or feeling good or feeling painful. You don't react to that. You just observe, and then you learn to accept it with equanimity, with peace, with calmness, with contentment. So that teaches you contentment and presence. And so you practice that. That's what I practice as well every single day. And then I also end my meditations every day with saying things that I'm grateful for, just because I think that's so important, just to be living in a state of gratitude constantly. It helps me to be happier, joyful, genuinely joyful throughout the day. And then also a cleansing white light. I do a bit of those because I do it from within, because I used to do it from above, but now I do it from within because I'm already enough. I'm already everything I need every day. So it's really nice. It's really nice to start in the morning. So yeah, my daily meditations. Also doing crazy wild things. Stepping completely outside of my comfort zone, like moving to a foreign country where I don't know the language and we didn't have much money at the time, like when I first moved. I just see a lot of how people are, especially the younger generation, of like, it's not bad, it's not good, but phones and technology are becoming a real addiction. And food is a real addiction, and it's just, it makes me so sad when someone can just go to the doctors and get an antidepressant pill just like that, easy, and then it's something you can just rely on. And I know that it has helped a lot of people. I'm not totally against like antidepressants and things, but I don't think everybody has got the depression, because we experience depression, we experience anxiety, but that doesn't mean we have depression, we have anxiety, because depression and anxiety can be a very normal thing in our lives. And I know that people are struggling so much. I really know, because I see it. I see it in groups, I see it in posts, I see it in young women and young men, and people really are struggling. I know, and I know how it feels to struggle, Trust me, I know how it feels to be so upset. I've been cheated on many times. I have experienced loss. I have tried to hurt myself. Like, I have been depressed at times. I know what it feels like. I've been abused sexually and physically so many times. So many times. Like, I have really experienced some hard, tough shit, but I know how to get out of it. Like, I really know myself. And I've experienced birth. I mean, like, I know mothers out there, like, birth is, it's painful. Going through labor and going through birth and going through your postpartum for that first year or so, it's painful, and you lose your identity, you lose yourself, and like having sleepless nights with a newborn, it's hard. So I know what it feels like to be depressed and to be sad and to be down, but I know how powerful meditation has been for me, and how much it's helped me, and how much dance and release has helped me, and being active and always working on my mindset, and always being an optimist in life, seeing the growth in these situations, and noticing and realizing and accepting that these things happen for us, not to us. They're not there to freaking push us down and put us under a rock. These are happening for us. These are happening to help us grow. And I know that it's hard. I know it's hard, and I know that some days you just feel like so shit and so depressed and so under the rock and so like bashed, and you know you stand up and then you get kicked in the stomach, and you stand up and you get punched in the face. Like, it's like a never-ending battle against yourself and society and family or whatever it is. I get it, but I just think that the more that we practice this mindset stuff, the more that we practice mindfulness, the meditation, the acceptance, the being optimistic, that realizing that things are helping us to grow, and just bettering our mindset, it's so beneficial to us. It makes us so much more happier and joyful and accepting and at peace with ourselves. And we don't have to rely on these phones or addictions or food or things like that. We don't have to do that. I feel like all we need is ourselves.
This girl is honestly so inspiring. Oh my god, such a strong woman, seriously.
But I'd love to know your experience.
Yes, exactly. I want to share, like, so I did her breathwork meditation healing event just the other day. Never experienced anything like that before. I came in not really expecting anything. She said, like, don't wear eye makeup because you might get teary. I was going to a festival later that night, and so I thought, oh, I should be fine. I don't think I'm really going to cry. Like, I feel pretty good. But I just came in because I thought, you know, this is going to be such a healthy experience. So she started meditating, right? And then she starts guiding us to just relax. And then you start doing via breathwork, so you're breathing in and out really fast. I've done it before, so I thought, oh yeah, cool, like, I'll just read really fast, right, it's fine. And then like, it starts getting really intense. Like, she's guiding us through this experience. I know other people also experience this. My body started shaking. It was just trembling the whole time, and I was so confusing because my friend also felt something similar. Some people were crying, some people were just feeling joy, but it was all like the release of whatever emotion you had built up. And she also allowed us to scream in the room, which, you know, throughout life there might be moments where you want to scream, but like, where do you really go to scream? Like, you really have to go to like a deserted mountain, and then even then I'm scared that if I scream, people might think like someone's dying and they'll like try to come over. So I just don't even like scream anyway. So it was so beautiful to be able to release those emotions that were built up in my body. I was so shocked that I experienced all those things, because who thinks like you'd start feeling your body shaking or like you start crying in like a meditation or healing event, right? Like, it's very therapeutic. Not only is it a meditation retreat, but it's also a healing experience. And that's why I'm like telling all these friends to go as well. And like all my friends, I went to like a stranger after the retreat. I went to like this jewelry shop, and she also talking about my day. I told her Instagram. Yeah, so like, it was so good. Like, I think everyone needs to experience it. Within like those 2 hours, you can release so many emotions that you have built up. It's it's really crazy. So it's gonna be really exciting. Whatever she has coming up, I'm gonna put all her social media details, Mindfulness with Alexa, and also a personal one, Alexa Evans, in the description, because I think everyone should really look into that, or just even for themselves to learn about what it is to heal and experience different ways of meditation, different healing journeys to learn. She's made it such an accessible way for everyone as well.
I'll give a little sneaky peeky of the next one that I have in mind, but I would love to do a journey of our bodies.
Oh my god.
And accepting our bodies, like a self-love body. So yeah, stay tuned.
I feel like in the age where social media is such a big part of our lives, sometimes we forget to accept our bodies as we are.
Every part of our body as well.
Yeah.
Like everything.
I feel like with people I come across, I can sense that there's one thing that they're not 100% confident about in their body, and even myself, I had to learn to accept like all parts of my body. It seems like it's a message that's so important right now. So I think it's great that you're targeting that. Yeah.
And I'm all about body confidence, all about it. I've got a big journey with body confidence, so I really want to share that because, yeah, like you said, the influence of social media and other people out there and what's supposed to be perfect and what's supposed to be right, it's all bullshit. We have to learn to accept ourselves exactly where we are and exactly where we are on our journey, because we may want to be here, but right now we are here and here is beautiful. I love that quote so much. I know that we want to be there, we have this vision of where, of our goals, but right here, right now, it's beautiful and we are here. So it's about accepting ourselves at this state.
Thank you so much, Alexa,
for
sharing.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so beautiful to hear everything about your journey. Just how you overcame everything, you stepped up each time. I just want to acknowledge how strong you are and how you're inspiring other people to do the same with your retreats.
Thank you so much. It's so cool that you're putting this on. I'm so excited to see your journey and watch it flourish and see the people that you interview and what we can all learn from it. It's so cool. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.